Here's a truth that will either save you or destroy you. Every person you trust completely is measuring the exact distance to your back. And that knife they're sharpening, it has your name on it. You've been taught that trust is a virtue, that openness builds bonds, that vulnerability creates a connection. All lies, beautiful, comforting lies that keep you defenseless while others feast on your goodwill. Tonight you choose. Harden your trust into a weapon, or watch it become your grave. The moment you finish this video, you'll never see relationships the same way. Some of you will thank me. Others will hate me for shattering the illusion. But none of you will remain unchanged. Your old self, the one who gives second chances like candy, who believes in people's good hearts, who trusts until betrayed, dies here. What emerges is something far more dangerous, something that commands respect instead of begging for approval. The weak call it paranoia. The strong call it survival. You think you're different. You think your friends, your colleagues, your family are above betrayal. Let me paint you a picture of your last month. Someone borrowed money and forgot to pay it back. Someone shared your secret after promising they wouldn't. Someone cancelled plans at the last minute because something better came up. Someone took credit for your idea in a meeting. Someone promised to support you, then vanished when you needed them most. Each betrayal started the same way, with your trust freely given, carelessly wasted. You smiled when they apologized. You made excuses for their behavior. You convinced yourself it was a misunderstanding. Wrong move. Every time you forgive without consequence, you train them to hurt you again. Watch how quickly friends become strangers when you stop being useful. Notice how loyal colleagues throw you under the bus for a promotion. See how family members exploit your generosity until you're broke, then call you selfish when you finally say no. The pattern is always the same. You trust, they take. You give more, they take more. You break, they move on. And you're left wondering what you did wrong, why people keep hurting you, and why your kindness is never returned. The answer is brutal but simple, because you taught them they could. This isn't cruelty speaking, it's history. Every empire that fell, every leader who was assassinated, every person who was destroyed by those closest to them, they all made the same mistake. They trusted without a strategy. Niccolò Machiavelli observed centuries ago that men are ungrateful, fickle, and deceptive. They flee from danger and are eager for gain. When you treat them well, they offer you their blood, their property, their lives, but only when the need is distant. When it approaches, they turn away. Sun Tzu warned that all warfare is based on deception. But here's what he didn't explicitly say. Every relationship contains the seeds of warfare. The question isn't whether conflict will come, but whether you'll be prepared when it does. Modern psychology confirms what ancient strategists knew. The reciprocity principle isn't just about returning favors. It's about people exploiting your willingness to give without taking. The commitment bias doesn't just make people stick to their word. It makes them double down on betraying you once they've started. Those who survive and thrive share one trait: they trust strategically, not emotionally. Which version of yourself will you choose to be? The approval seeker smiles when insulted, hoping to win people over with endless patience. The strategic mind notes the insult, files it away, and plans accordingly. The approval seeker explains their feelings, hoping others will understand and change. The strategic mind shows consequences, not words. The approval seeker gives countless chances, believing in people's potential to improve. The strategic mind gives one chance, maybe two, then moves on without looking back. The approval seeker fears being alone, so they accept scraps of affection from anyone willing to give them. The strategic mind would rather be respected in solitude than loved by parasites. The approval seeker asks, "What did I do wrong?" When betrayed, the strategic mind asks, "What information did this reveal about their character?" The weak worship at the altar of being liked. The strong demand respects the temple of consequences. Your transformation begins with understanding that trust is not a gift, it's an investment. And like any investment, it requires careful evaluation, strategic timing, and the willingness to cut losses when necessary. Stop handing people keys to your destruction. Trust is earned in drops and lost in oceans. When someone shows you who they are, believe them the first time, not the 10th. Most people never learn this lesson. They trust until betrayed, forgive until broken, and give until empty. They die having never understood that their greatest virtue became their fatal flaw. But you're different. You're here listening, learning. You're ready to build something stronger than blind faith, calculated trust. Here's your first weapon: doubt everything until proven otherwise. When someone makes a promise, watch their actions. When someone offers help, ask what they want in return. When someone shares a secret, know they've probably shared yours too. This isn't cynicism, it's realism. And realism is what separates survivors from victims. Trust builds in layers like armor. The first layer protects your resources, your time, money, and energy. Don't invest these in people who haven't earned them. The second layer protects your information, your plans, your weaknesses, your fears. Share these only with those who've proven their loyalty through actions, not words. The final layer protects your core, your dreams, your vulnerabilities, your deepest truths. This vault should have very few keys, and those keys should never be given lightly. When someone violates any layer, they don't get promoted to the next. They get demoted or removed entirely. Watch how this changes everything. People who once took your trust for granted suddenly work to earn it. Those who can't be bothered to prove themselves reveal their true nature and remove themselves from your life. What remains are genuine connections built on mutual respect, not one-sided exploitation. But trust is only your first weapon. Your second is far more powerful, and most people never learn to wield it properly. What you don't say controls the room more than what you do. Silence is the language of power, and most people are terrified of it. When someone insults you, don't rush to defend yourself. Stay silent and watch them squirm. When someone asks for a favor, don't immediately say yes or no. Pause and let them wonder. When someone confesses their mistakes, don't offer immediate forgiveness. Let the weight of their actions settle in the space between you. Silence creates pressure. Pressure reveals truth. Truth gives you power. Most people fill silence with words, desperate to avoid discomfort. They over-explain, over-promise, and over-share. Each word weakens their position while strengthening yours. Learn to sit in uncomfortable silence. Learn to ask a question and wait, really wait, for the complete answer. Learn to receive information without immediately reacting to it. When someone betrays you, don't explode in anger or crumble in hurt. Go silent. Let them wonder what you're thinking, what you're planning, what consequences might be coming. Their imagination will torture them far more effectively than your words ever could. Silence also protects your strategies. The moment you announce your plans, you invite interference. The moment you share your suspicions, you warn your targets. The moment you reveal your methods, you lose your advantage. Keep your thoughts close, your plans closer, and your true intentions closest of all. This brings us to your third principle, the delicate art of strategic distance. Everyone in your life should occupy a specific orbit around you. Close enough to be useful, far enough to be safe. Most people get this backwards. They pull everyone close until their inner circle becomes a crowd. Then wonder why betrayal feels so personal. Your inner circle should be small, carefully chosen, and constantly evaluated. These are people who've proven their loyalty through actions, not words. Who've sacrificed for you without being asked. Who's kept your secrets when revealing them would benefit them. Even then, remember, people change. Circumstances change. Loyalties shift like sand in the wind. Your middle circle contains people who are useful but not essential. Colleagues, acquaintances, fair weather friends. They get professional courtesy and surface-level interaction. They don't get access to your vulnerabilities or your resources without a clear benefit to you. Your outer circle is everyone else, strangers, enemies, and people who've proven they can't be trusted. They get politeness when necessary, nothing when possible. The key is fluidity. People earn their way in through consistent, trustworthy behavior. They lose their position through betrayal, unreliability, or simple incompatibility. There's no shame in demoting someone who doesn't deserve their access to you. This isn't cruelty, it's curation. Your energy is finite, your trust is precious, your time is irreplaceable. Spend these resources on people who deserve them, not people who demand them. But distance alone isn't enough. You need to master the fourth principle, reciprocity with purpose. Every relationship is an exchange. The question is whether you're trading fairly or being robbed blind. Too many people give from the heart without engaging the mind. They help because someone needs help. They listen because someone needs to talk. They sacrifice because someone benefits from their sacrifice. This is how good people become doormats. Strategic reciprocity means every exchange strengthens your position. When someone asks for help, ask yourself, what do I gain from this? When someone offers assistance, consider, what do they want in return? When someone shows you kindness, wonder, what are they buying with this gesture? This doesn't mean becoming transactional or cold. It means becoming smart about your investments. Help people who help you. Prioritize people who prioritize you. Invest in people who invest in you. And when someone takes without giving, stops giving without explanation, or gives only when they need something, cut the flow. Watch how quickly takers reveal themselves when you stop giving without reciprocation. They'll call you selfish, claim you've changed, accuse you of being cold, perfect. These reactions tell you everything you need to know about their true nature. Meanwhile, people who truly value you will respect your boundaries and work to maintain a balanced exchange. These are your real allies. But even with perfect reciprocity, you'll face your greatest challenge, the desperate hunger for approval that weakens more people than any external enemy ever could. Approval is the drug that destroys more potential than any addiction known to medicine. It turns brilliant minds into people-pleasers, strong spirits into doormats, and natural leaders into followers desperate for validation. The approval seeker says yes when they mean no, smiles when they're angry, and apologizes when they're right. They shape their opinions to match the room, their personality to fit the moment, and their values to avoid conflict. They trade their authentic self for the temporary comfort of being liked. But here's the cruel truth. People don't respect what comes easily. They don't value what costs them nothing. They don't treasure what everyone else can have. When you're desperate for approval, people sense it like sharks sense blood. They know they can manipulate you with the promise of acceptance. They know they can control you with the threat of rejection. Your need for their approval becomes their power over you. The strategic mind operates differently. It seeks respect, not approval. It values fear over love when the two conflict. It would rather be misunderstood by many than compromised by anyone. Respect is earned through boundaries, not kindness. Through consistency, not flexibility. Through consequences, not forgiveness. When someone disrespects you, don't try to win them over. Show them the cost of their behavior. When someone undervalues you, don't argue your worth. Demonstrate it by withdrawing your presence. When someone takes you for granted, don't explain your importance. Prove it by becoming unavailable. This shift changes everything. People who once ignored you suddenly pay attention. Those who took your kindness for weakness discover your strength. Those who exploited your need for approval encounter your indifference to their opinion. You stop being a victim of other people's moods and become the architect of your own respect. But respect without preparation is worthless when betrayal comes calling. And betrayal always comes calling. Most people live in a fantasy where loyalty is permanent, promises are kept, and good intentions guarantee good outcomes. This fantasy makes them easy targets for those who understand reality. Reality is this: betrayal is not the exception, it's the inevitable result of human nature meeting opportunity and pressure. Your best friend will sell your secrets if the price is right. Your loyal employee will quit for a better offer without notice. Your devoted partner will leave when someone more attractive shows interest. Your trusted colleague will throw you under the bus to save their own career. This isn't pessimism speaking, it's pattern recognition. The strategic mind doesn't hope people won't betray them. It prepares for when they will. Keep backup plans for key relationships. Diversify your dependencies so no single person can destroy you. Document important agreements and promises. Create consequences for betrayal before it happens, not after. When someone shows micro signs of disloyalty, small lies, broken promises, talking behind others' backs, don't ignore these red flags. They're not accidents or exceptions. They're previews of coming attractions. Most importantly, never let anyone become so essential to your success that their betrayal would devastate you. The moment someone holds that much power over your life, they will eventually use it. This preparation doesn't guarantee you'll never be betrayed. But it ensures that when betrayal comes, you'll survive it, learn from it, and emerge stronger. The sixth principle builds your armor against the weapons people use to manipulate your emotions. Emotional detachment is not the absence of feeling, it's the presence of control. It's the ability to feel anger without being consumed by it, to experience hurt without being destroyed by it, to recognize manipulation without falling for it. Most people wear their emotions like open wounds, letting everyone see exactly how to hurt them. They react predictably to praise and criticism, hope and disappointment, acceptance and rejection. This predictability makes them controllable. The strategic mind feels everything but shows nothing useful to enemies. It processes emotions privately, makes decisions rationally, and responds strategically rather than reactively. When someone tries to make you angry, they're not just venting, they're trying to make you stupid. Anger clouds judgment, destroys careful planning, and makes you say things that can be used against you later. When someone tries to make you feel guilty, they're not appealing to your conscience. They're trying to manipulate your behavior. Guilt makes you overcompensate, accept blame that isn't yours, and sacrifice your interests for theirs. When someone tries to make you feel special, they're not just being kind, they're often setting you up. Flattery lowers your guard, makes you want to live up to false praise, and creates obligation where none should exist. The strategic mind recognizes these emotional manipulations for what they are, attempts to bypass your rational defenses and control your behavior. You can acknowledge the attempt without falling for it. You can feel the intended emotion without being controlled by it. You can respond to the situation strategically rather than emotionally. This doesn't make you cold or heartless. It makes you free. But freedom means nothing if you don't protect it with ruthless boundaries. Your final principle is the hardest for good people to accept. Some relationships must die for you to live. Every person in your life is either adding value or extracting it. They're either supporting your growth or hindering it. They're either respecting your boundaries or violating them. There is no neutral. There is no, they mean well. There is no, they'll change eventually. The people who drain your energy, disrespect your time, ignore your boundaries, and take without giving, they must be cut away like cancer. Not because you hate them, but because you love yourself. This is where most people fail. They know someone is toxic, but they hold on because of history, because of guilt, because of hope that things will change. They choose familiar misery over unfamiliar freedom. The strategic mind makes different choices. It values its peace more than other people's comfort. It protects its energy more than other people's feelings. It prioritizes its future more than other people's expectations. When someone consistently shows you disrespect, believe them. When someone repeatedly breaks their promises, accept that this is who they are. When someone drains you more than they energize you, acknowledge that the relationship has become parasitic. Then cut them off, completely, ruthlessly, without explanation or negotiation. You don't owe anyone access to you. You don't owe anyone your time, your energy, or your presence. You don't owe anyone forgiveness for the same mistake repeated endlessly. You owe yourself protection from people who would consume you to fuel their own dysfunction. This will feel cruel at first. You'll second-guess yourself. You'll wonder if you're being too harsh, too unforgiving, too cold. But watch what happens. The drama decreases, the stress disappears. The energy you were pouring into broken relationships becomes available for healthy ones. Your standards rise, your self-respect returns. You discover that losing toxic people isn't a loss, it's a liberation. I know this is dark. I know these principles challenge everything you've been taught about trust, kindness, and human nature. But these tools aren't weapons of aggression. They're shields of protection. You're not learning to hurt people. You're learning to stop people from hurting you. The world is full of predators who smile while they devour the knave. They exploit kindness, weaponize trust, and feed on the good intentions of those who refuse to see their true nature. These principles give you armor against such people. They help you identify threats before they strike, establish boundaries before they're crossed, and protect your resources before they're stolen. This isn't about becoming heartless. It's about becoming strategic with your heart. It's about loving wisely instead of blindly. It's about trusting carefully instead of carelessly. The alternative is remaining prey in a world full of predators. And that serves no one. Not you, not the people who genuinely deserve your trust, and not the world that needs strong people to lead and protect others. Here's your challenge for the next 7 days. Implement just one of these principles. Choose the one that resonates most strongly with you. Maybe it's guarded trust. Stop giving people access to your vulnerabilities until they've earned it through consistent, trustworthy behavior. Maybe it's strategic silence. Stop explaining yourself to people who don't deserve explanations and watch how the dynamic shifts. Maybe it's calculated distance. Reorganize your social circles based on demonstrated value rather than assumed loyalty. Maybe it's ruthless boundaries. Identify one person who consistently drains you and cut off their access to your energy. Pick one principle. Apply it consistently for 7 days. Journal the results. Document how people respond when you stop being predictably available. Notice who respects your new boundaries and who tries to violate them. Pay attention to how your stress levels change, how your energy shifts, how your self-respect grows. You'll be amazed at how quickly your world transforms when you stop accepting disrespect as the price of relationships. This isn't just about protecting yourself from betrayal. This is about fundamentally upgrading your life experience. Imagine walking through the world knowing that people respect your boundaries because you enforce them. Picture relationships where mutual value is given and received, where trust is earned and maintained, where your kindness is treasured rather than exploited. Envision yourself immune to manipulation because you understand the game, free from the exhaustion of people pleasing because you've chosen self-respect over approval, confident in your ability to identify and handle betrayal because you've prepared for it. This is the life that awaits on the other side of naive trust. You'll have fewer relationships, but they'll be genuine. You'll have less drama, but more peace. You'll have less popularity, but more respect. You'll have fewer surface-level connections, but deeper, more meaningful bonds with people who've proven they deserve access to the real you. Most importantly, you'll have something most people never find: the quiet confidence that comes from knowing you can't be easily hurt, used, or manipulated. You'll sleep better knowing your defenses are strong. You'll make decisions from wisdom rather than fear. You'll engage with others from a position of strength rather than need. This is what it means to be truly free in your relationships. Today marks the death of your old self, the one who trusted without strategy, gave without reciprocation, and sought approval from people who didn't deserve respect. What emerges from this transformation is something far more powerful. A strategic mind that commands respect, enforces boundaries, and chooses relationships that elevate rather than diminish. You are no longer the victim of other people's betrayals. You are the architect of your own protection. You are no longer the target of manipulation and exploitation. You are the guardian of your own energy and attention. You are no longer the approval seeker begging for scraps of affection. You are the respect demander who settles only for genuine connection. This transformation doesn't make you cruel. It makes you wise. It doesn't make you heartless. It makes you strategic with your heart. It doesn't make you paranoid. It makes you prepared. Welcome to the brotherhood of those who refuse to be victims, who chooses strategic trust over blind faith, those who demand respect over approval, those who protect themselves so they can genuinely protect others. You've seen the truth behind the facade of human nature. You've learned the principles that separate survivors from victims. You've been given tools that most people never discover and weapons that most people are too weak to wield. But knowledge without action is worthless. Principles without practice are just philosophy. If this message resonated with the part of you that's tired of being taken advantage of, that's ready to command respect instead of begging for approval, that's prepared to trust strategically instead of blindly, then you're ready for the next level. Hit that like button to signal that you're part of the tribe that refuses to be naive. Share this with someone who needs to hear these truths. But choose carefully, because not everyone is ready for this level of reality. And subscribe, because what you've learned today barely scratches the surface. There are deeper strategies, darker truths, and more powerful principles waiting for those strong enough to handle them. But remember, these tools come with responsibility. Use them to protect yourself and elevate others, not to become the predator you once feared. The world needs more people who understand power, wield it wisely, and teach others to do the same. Are you ready to be one of them?